Yellowstone Volcano latest, how a physicist warns all you can do is run when the supervolcano erupts with a super eruption. This is by the famous physicist Michio Kaku. Yellowstone eruption would destroy the United States if it were to erupt, and all you can do is run. American theoretical physicist Michio Kaku warned a Yellowstone eruption would devastate the U.S. and change the face of our planet. This has happened in the past. He calls it a sleeping giant Godzilla under Yellowstone. And he says, forget Yogi Bear, it's Godzilla under there. Yellowstone had its last major eruption about 640,000 years ago, and it's not expected to erupt anytime soon, but many experts still worry about a supervolcano potential for destruction. Yellowstone volcano has the potential to be one of the most powerful volcanoes in the world, which is why experts continuously monitor. This is said to be the second largest supervolcano in the world. There's about 20 supervolcanoes worldwide, but Dr. Michio Kaku has said that even if Yellowstone was to give a warning, there will still be little one can do to, in footage unearthed from 2011, this is what he was explaining, to up to 1,000 miles of the U.S. would be covered, he says, in volcanic ash, and the climate of the planet would be altered because debris would be plowing into the atmosphere. Dr. Kaku said that when it blows, it could destroy the United States as we know it. We're talking about immediate damage to the surrounding area up to 100 miles. We'll see total devastation, basically wiping out everything in that area. However, he says the real damage goes out to 500 miles if you include volcanic ash, poisonous gases, and that's the thing, a ring which goes around 1,000 miles across. It will wipe out the United States as we know it. It could happen tomorrow, or it could happen hundreds of thousands of years from now. It's black magic trying to predict when it will blow, but we do know one thing: one day it will blow. This is what Dr. Kaku went on to add: all you can do is run. One NASA employee feels that he's found a unique way to stop the major eruption, and that's by feeding cold water into Yellowstone's magma chambers. The NASA engineer Brian Wilcox has the idea to stave off the threat of a super eruption by cooling down the Yellowstone magma in the chambers. Around 60 to 70% of the heat generated by Yellowstone seeps into the atmosphere. The remainder builds up inside, though, and if enough builds up, it can trigger an eruption. And Brian Wilcox says that by drilling 10 kilometers or 6 miles down into Yellowstone, he believes that it would be possible to pump high-pressure water, which will allow the cold liquid to absorb some of the heat before it's pumped back out again. And Wilcox claims that it could cost about $3.5 billion. The proposal will have the added benefit of using the steam from the water and magma combo to create a geothermal plant, a carbon-free geothermal electricity at a much cheaper rate than any alternative energy currently available on the market. Wilcox said that the thing that makes Yellowstone a force of nature is that it stores up heat for hundreds of thousands of years before it all goes kablooey all at once. And it would be good if we drain away that heat before it could do a lot of damage. Others, though, are not so convinced about the feasibility of Wilcox's idea. USGS scientist Jake Lowenstern told Walsh it all seems a bit fanciful. And also, of course, the geologist in charge of Yellowstone, Michael Pollan, says as long as he's in charge there, no one's going to touch Yellowstone because it could bring about more quickly what we're afraid would happen. This by Sean Martin on Express UK. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.